Hey, how's it going? My name is Joel, and I'm one of the pastors here at Light and Life. And I love men's breakfast because we fellowship over food, we embrace one another, we learn about Jesus, and most of all, what's been the most impactful thing for me is the community aspect of men's breakfast, where you see your brothers, you're able to chat with them, to pray with them, to encourage one another. Men's breakfast represents who Light and Life is because we are a church that loves people, that welcomes people, and that enjoys being around one another. My first exposure to Light and Life was coming to a men's breakfast back in 2013. That was before I did anything else in this church. Pastor Daniel actually invited me, and we came and we enjoyed some good food and fellowship, and that experience was just really deep for me and it really impacted me. I wanted to be a part of a church that cared about people, that welcomed people, that saw them, that learned their names, that learned their children's names, that remembered you when you came back. So because of my experience at men's breakfast, I came back to visit again with my wife. And I remember the first Sunday I came, a man by the name of Chris Smith came, and he went out of his way to greet my wife and I and to learn our names. And that was about the 7th church we had visited that summer as we were looking for a new church. We were newlyweds. And it really impacted me that a volunteer would go out of their way to greet my wife and I. I remember very distinctly the very next Sunday, I visited alone because my wife was working the night shift at the hospital. Chris came up to me and said, "Hello, Joel, welcome back. And where is your lovely wife, Janice?" And friends, for me, that sealed the deal. This was going to be my church because I felt seen. I felt like I was valuable to people. And I felt seen not only by people, but also by God. And so community, ever since I came to this church, has been one of those core values and experiences that has kept me coming back for more and more and more.
I love men's breakfast for the fellowship. I love men's breakfast for the food. And most importantly, I love it for the testimonies that are shared here. It's just an amazing experience for guys to come into a nice open space where it's safe, where we can just be men and be vulnerable and speak about the struggles that we go through, get prayed for, and just leave encouraged and leave with some food. So I love men's breakfast.
Just a few months after making Light and Life my church, a pastor in the church started seeing leadership potential in me, and I started sensing a curiosity for what it would look like to not just be a missionary, but to be a pastor. Pastor Larry invited me to coffee, and he was kind of prodding, asking questions about my life, my story, what God was doing in and through me. And about a month later, he offered me a part-time job here at the church, literally doing whatever was necessary. I told him, "Pastor Larry, I am willing to do janitorial work if you want me to do that." And guess what? I ended up doing some of that. I also ended up helping plant trees and dig holes and move a bunch of dirt in my first couple of days on the job here. And that became a journey for me, a 10-year journey of discovering my calling, having my leaders pour into me, prepare me for what God was doing, so that about 8 or 9 years later, Pastor Sean and I became good friends, and we worked together side by side in the ministry and really began to grow in our capabilities and our calling, all thanks to having great mentors and pastors like Larry and Deb who believed in us and who made room for us in this church. So once COVID came, COVID was one of the most difficult seasons in our church, and I'm sure almost every church's life. But man, the Lord kept us together. The Lord kept us focused on Him. And through that season, our church continued to bless our community, to reach the lost, to disciple students, to bless families, to heal marriages. And God continued to use us in many and many mighty ways here. We started feeding more people than we ever had at our church so that today we feed thousands of people at Light and Life. We're still doing it 3 or 4 years after the pandemic. But what was one of the most significant moments in our church's history is that our pastor sensed from the Lord a season to transition. He felt like it was the right time for him to transition out of pastoral ministry as a lead pastor and to empower Pastor Sean and I. And so he spent a lot of time praying, and we retreated together and we prayed and we were discerning, Lord, what is your timing? And in 2022, we officially made that transition. Leading together these last couple of years, together with our board of administration and the many other staff members, has been one of the most fulfilling, exciting, and adventurous seasons of our life. Our church is reaching more people. We're adding more services. Our Spanish ministry is growing, but more importantly, we're having an impact in our community, but also across the globe. It truly is exciting to be a part of a river church that not only cares for the people in its own backyard, but also to the very ends of the earth.
Hi, my name is Dr. Jeff Heinz, and I've been at Light and Life for over 30 years. I came about probably 2 years after Pastor Larry became a pastor here, and I met Pastor Larry and Pastor Deb on the same day when I came here. My journey started at a convention business convention where I accepted Jesus Christ, and that friend that brought me to that business also invited me here, and you were hooked on the first day. Part of it had to do with, it was just a bunch of wonderful people here. And then you listen to Pastor Larry preach, and I went to Catholic school for 6 years. I learned more in a week than I did in 6 years in Catholic school. You could just feel the place. One of the things that was really nice was you were always welcomed. Even if you were gone for a period of time, you weren't never made to feel bad. You were welcome back. We're glad to have you back. We're glad to see you again. My walk with the Lord has grown so much. I've always wanted to serve in the church, and now with the way my life is, I'm now ushering, and it's a great way to meet people. Even if you're not a people person, just saying hello. When it happens, God will allow you to do those things, and that's kind of like what we're kind of taught here over the years, is that when you decide to do something and you're following Jesus, then everything becomes easy because he just takes care of you all the way through it. So the nervousness of being an usher goes away after you've done it a while, and my friendship with a whole bunch of people walking in that door every day and meeting new people and inviting them in is one of the things that really goes to the idea of the people-loving place.
Hi, my name is John Weigelt. I currently pastor a church called New Life Christian Center in Carson. And I've been coming here to Light and Life for over 12 years or so. I was invited by one of the members here for a men's breakfast, and we've been coming ever since, some of our guys from the church. But ever since I've started coming here, I've just sensed the presence of the Lord that is familiar with me. I guess that's how you call it. But I've enjoyed the fellowship of all the men that I've known here. They've embraced me as one of the members, even though they know I go to another church, but it's always welcoming here. I just feel like I get filled up with just the Spirit of God before I go to our church and have to minister over there.
My name is Spencer Rodney. I'm married. I have 2 wonderful children, my beautiful wife Autumn, a little Esthe and Amelia. I've been attending Light and Life here since around 2017, and to be honest with you, that was a pretty interesting year for me and my family. But what I can say is God is here. We arrived here back in 2017 just to show up, just to come check it out. We lived here in Bellflower, and I just felt a different presence of the Spirit here moving at Light and Life. We've had the opportunity to meet just countless people who are just extremely intentional with their love, with their time, and with doing life with one another. So it's been an extreme blessing to be here with everyone that I know here, who I've had the opportunity to meet, who I have the opportunity to partner with, and my heart is full. And as I continue on this journey here at Light and Life, I hope that I can continue to participate and just, serve however I can as the leaders here, how they set such an amazing example.
Hi, my name's Natalie. I came here 3 years ago, almost 3 years ago. I came here desperate for God, and I feel like everybody took me in like right off the bat. I feel like one of the reasons why I stayed was because Pastor Joel remembered my name and I thought that was really like special. Yeah, and everybody was just so welcoming and nurturing. I made friends right away. Not only that, but I feel like Light and Life has given me a lot of opportunities to express my God-given talent, which is art. So I really appreciate that.
I'm Tina Smith, and I lead the food ministry here at our church, here at Light and Life. And one of the ways that we are serving the community is by providing nourishment to the community. I want to say, first of all, that I couldn't do any of it without the wonderful volunteers. I'm blessed with so many wonderful volunteers that are committed. But what we are doing, we're feeding over 300 families each week our goal is to provide a week's worth of groceries to about 300 families. And that's our weekly goal. We also provide a free farmers market once a month. And that is an opportunity for people to come in and shop at our farmers market and shop for beautiful, abundant, beautiful produce, free at no charge. And so this is a service, this is how we're providing services to our community. I want to say most of our patrons are senior citizens who aren't able to meet, their needs at the end of the month. So we're really providing a good service, and we feel good about it.
And my name is Juan Carlos Alevalo, and my wife and I, we lead in this church called Luz y Vida. And the way that I see it, it's amazing. God moving in such a tremendous way in our city, in our church. We started Luz y Vida 7 years ago, and with 2 families, and now we can see how God is proving every day His faithfulness to us by bringing a lot of people from any backgrounds, and see how God is moving in their lives and transforming people's life. This is amazing what I can see through these 7 years leading Luz y Vida. Our vision is to reach out in our city or any other cities, people, and especially people 40 and under, and see a new generation rising for God, young people taking the lead right here in Luz y Vida, and see how God is going to be developing their leadership and right here in Luz y Vida. I love that part right here in Luz y Vida. When we talk about love, the importance of love is just accepting people the way they are. No, we don't ask questions, we just receive people, we love them. And we usually say, right here at Luz y Vida, después de Dios, lo más importante son las personas. Why? Because that's exactly what Jesus came to the earth, to rescue the lost and love them, and that's the way we do it right here.
Hi, my name is Pastor Daniel. I'm one of the recently installed pastors here at Light and Life. And my time here at Light and Life so far has been incredibly transformative. There is a belief and a standard of excellence unto the Lord. Okay? Number one, that as we're called to minister, we believe that we're called to do great work, not just for ourselves, not just because we're part of a church, but because we're doing it unto the Lord, and He has called us to make disciples and to preach His gospel. The second reason why it has been transformative is because one of the priorities in our pastoral team, as led by our pastors, is that those of us who lead and serve, whether it's at a pastoral level, staff level, volunteer, or lay leader, that all of us would do so out of abundance of Jesus. That all of us would do so out of a fullness of Christ in us, right? So there is this commitment to taking care of ourselves and not just give without us being filled by God. So, regarding my longing and my heart for community here at Light and Life, we're always thinking of those individuals who maybe feel like they won't be accepted, that they won't belong, that they won't be seen, or if they are seen, that they won't be accepted, right? And I think my longing is that we will grow more skill in pursuing the one, right? That we're okay, metaphorically speaking, leaving the 99 to pursue the one that may feel like they won't accept me, they won't see me, they won't love me, they won't grow on me. And I think my heart is that more people will become skilled in pursuing that and more willing in doing so as well.
Hi, my name's Kimora Anderson. I've been coming to Light in Life since I was a junior in high school. I started coming to Light in Life because I got connected actually through Crew. And through that, I was looking for like one-on-one discipleship. And so Light in Life has definitely helped me, has made such a strong impact on my faith as far as like discipleship and like mentorship. And yeah, it's just been such a blessing being able to be in such a loving community. I definitely long for community at Light in Life, but not just community, but the same way that I was like discipled and the same way that I've been like mentored to pour that back out into like students and even friends. And so yeah, it's been a blessing to serve with the youth actually, and actually be able to help youth in their own spiritual journey.
I'm gonna cry. No, it's okay. We came here from another church that I had been a part of for about 15 years. The pastors were like parents to me. Actually, he walked me down the aisle when Tom and I got married, so we were very, very close with them. And when we felt God calling us to Light in Life, it was it was a scary move, but we knew this is where we were supposed to be. And just the immediate feeling of home was what really helped us get over those initial hurdles with just, moving to a new place. Then our family went through a crisis time, and Pastor Deb, now Dr. Pastor Deb Wackemeyer, was very instrumental in just coming alongside us and imparting wisdom, and I still share that wisdom with other parents that are going through it with their kids today. And that also showed me that, storms in life are going to happen to all of us, but it's who you surround yourself with and who you have in your boat that will get you through to the other side. And then with marriage ministry, being fully supported by the pastors for the events that we've wanted to do, for the hard topics we've wanted to cover, that's just really been affirming. And again, everyone is a part of the legacy of pastors in years past saying yes to things all the way up to the present. So we're very grateful for the people-loving place and for the power of yes to the right things.
I've been coming to Light in Life for about 1.5 years now. I've been a part of the youth for about the same time. And I enjoy the transition. I've been a part of youth since my junior year. I've been serving as a student leader. I got to be a part of worship, host youth, just stuff like that. So now that I get to transition to young adults and walk more into my calling, it's something that I'm looking forward to, really. So I'm excited to see what God has planned for me. Honestly, this is the first church that I've been to that's really felt like a family to me, especially like having people from Crew that's here and just the loving community around me. It's really changed my life a lot, just from the kindness and just meeting people that are really genuine in a sense. So yeah, the community has really, really changed my life in more ways than I could have imagined when I first came here.
Hi, I'm Jada Mason, and growing up at Light in Life was great. A lot of the friends that I have now are from Light in Life, and I've made a lot of friends growing up here, and I just felt loved coming here. Growing up, I always, even as a kid, liked to volunteer in different places, like in kids ministry and stuff. And then as I got older, I started helping in youth. And doing youth helped me discover what I actually want to do in life, and that's help kids and other young ones. But because I got to volunteer in these different areas, it helped me discover a lot about myself and know that I want to serve kids and lead them to know more about God. And I'm just grateful that I got to experience that here through Light in Life. Light in Life, I want to continue to see more people come and experience what I got to experience here, and see all the people that are here and get to meet new people, experience God here. And I just want to continue to see this place grow and blossom and discover a whole new generation.
As you watch this story, become a part of this story. What we're asking is that you would be a part of building for the future. We believe that if everybody who sees this documentary, a vision of what was, is, and will be, participates, we will see an incredible move of God. We say it like this: the river will flow from Long Beach to the ends of the earth. So as you see this QR code come up, would you scan it? Would you be generous? Would you think about how God is calling you to play a part in building for the future, so that we could see an incredible move of God? Because listen, where the river is, everything will live.